Morning, sunshines. Happy Sunday. It's a blessing day. I haven't had a blessing day in a while. So thought I would come on and do a blessing day. How's everybody's Sunday going? It has been a quiet weekend. Shh, it's okay. We enjoy quiet weekends. It's way early in the morning. Good morning, Bella. How are you doing today? It is a gorgeous Sunday morning here. We're supposed to have storms later. So I figured I'd get on and do a good morning, sunshines. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to be traveling, but I may. I'm doing wonderful this morning. Thanks for asking. I may do a little bit of a live while I'm driving tomorrow to keep me company. I have a long drive tomorrow. Oh. But I thought we could come on, do a good morning blessings. And somebody had pointed out the other day that that the book of Proverbs, that there are 31 chapters, and how appropriate it would be to read each one each day of the month of July, because there's 31 days. And so for the last couple of days, and of course the book of Proverbs is about wisdom and advice for life, and it's kind of appropriate today. Today is the 6th of July in Proverbs 6. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just wanted to read the first part of it here. And it's kind of appropriate for today. And then I wanted to play a video that I found somebody had shared is way appropriate on manipulative behavior. So I'm going to read it. It'll take just a second. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have shaken hands in a pledge for a stranger, you have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, to free yourself. Since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands, go to the point of exhaustion and give your neighbor no rest. Allow no sleep to your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer, no or ruler. Yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. How long will you lie there, you sluggard? When will you get up from your sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest? And poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. A troublemaker and a villain who goes about with a corrupt mouth, who winks maliciously with his eye, signals with his feet, and motions with his fingers, who plots evil with deceit in his heart, and always stirs up conflict. Therefore, disaster will overtake him in an instant, and he will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. There are 6 things the Lord hates. 7 of those are detestable to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. That's a little bit disturbing, I would say. Yep, I definitely thought that was pretty appropriate. I'm going to stop sharing that. Big face, big face. Present, share screen.
If you want to get rid of your beer belly in time for summer,
yeah, I want to get rid of my belly. Yes,
do celebrities?
Stop, because I don't really want to play that just yet. Hey, a Philly. A Phila. A Philly. Close enough. Oh, yeah. Pretty appropriate, isn't it, Bella? Yeah, pretty appropriate. Yep. And then somebody else had shared this video, and there's 9 tactics of manipulative behavior. And I've got a point of saying all this morning. It's not to point out manipulative behavior or bad behavior. It's actually to pray a blessing over those people. You guys know me. And if you don't, you'll get to know me, that I'm not here for clicks and views. I'm not here for hundreds of people watching. I'm here for those that are here. And if there's only 6 of us in here, if there's only one of us in here, 15 or 1,500, it's not my point. The one person that needs to be here will be here. And I'm blessed to have that. Yep, they all need prayers and blessings. And that's what we're going to do this morning. That's why I titled it Blessings. And we're just going to pray over those that are causing fraught and chaos in the community, because they need our prayers and they need our blessings. You just did a 2 hours live, Afila? I need to find that. I didn't know you even went live, Afila. I need to find that and watch it. So, yeah, this video was pretty good. I'm going to play it on 1.5 speed because I can't handle watching anything on. But am I on 1.5 speed? I am on 1.5 speed.
You're not paranoid. You're being played. Constantly. And the most dangerous part? You don't even realize it. Every interaction, every conversation, every glance you ignore, or every favor you feel pressured to do, might not be as innocent as it seems. Behind the curtain of ordinary life, people, sometimes even the ones closest to you, are using subtle psychological tactics to bend your will, steer your choices, and reshape how you see yourself. Nietzsche warned us that manipulation isn't always loud or malicious. In fact, the most potent forms are dressed in charm, cloaked in kindness, and delivered with a smile. Today, we begin a journey through 9 of the most common manipulation tactics used against you daily. This is part 1. And by the end of it, you won't just recognize these behaviors. You'll be immune to them.
So
let's begin.
I am not going to play the whole thing. The guilt hook.
There's a specific look someone gives you after you say no. It's not anger. It's disappointment. A quiet, heavy silence that settles into the room, like you've...
So there are 9 tactics that he goes through and how you can overcome them and what to look for. And it's pretty good. But it certainly explains a lot of what's going on in our community right now. Whether you want to call it a community, whether you want to call it a movement, no matter what you want to call it. It's pretty accurate when it starts to explain it. So those that are causing chaos and strife, I'm going to get my little wackadoodle Jesus movement out here. Let's pray blessings over them. The first blessing that I want to pray over them is that they receive everything they deserve. That they receive grace for everything they deserve, and mercy for everything they deserve. So whether it's good or bad, And that's all definitive and respective. I prayed that over him. Good morning, Peter. Oh, you're up awfully early, Peter. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sleepy time for you. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. The second blessing I want to pray over people is that they wake up and that they see how they're being deceived and see how their lives could be different. Eyes to see and ears to hear. The whole thing. And then the third blessing, there's only 3. So the first one is that they have grace and mercy abound. The second one is eyes to see. Good morning, YRB. And the third one is that they have all the love and laughter that they need in their life. Happy 4th of July weekend. Exactly. How are you doing, YRB? Thanks for catching all of those deficits in audits live the other night. You have eyes to see, definitely so. Yeah, it's been definitely a quiet 4th of July, 4th of July weekend. My dogs were all frantic the other night about all of the fireworks going off, and then last night they used the rest of them. Ooh, did you? You managed to cook your first hot pot of soup in months. Ooh, yummy. Did it have all of the good stuff in it? All of your spices? Nice. All of the ingredients that you care to put into your body? I know you take that serious. Good morning, new name. Did I miss something good? Was there a live that I missed? Or YRB? Thank you, Afila. Yeah, I just feel we just need to continue to pray blessings over people. And whether their glass is half empty or half full depends on where their blessings are going to lie. I am including, let's see, last night was the rain from watermelon, onion, celery, spaghetti sauce, carrot, and spice. I did not miss Grateful Mess last night. Yes, I did miss it. So technically I did. But Little Miss Audit had called and needed to talk at 9:55 my time, 5 minutes before the Grateful Mess started. And then we talked for about 20 minutes. And so I missed about 20 minutes of it, and I didn't want to jump in late. So, Peter, yes, I did. New name. I'm not going to expand much, but saw her trying to help, and it wasn't received well. I'm sorry about that because YRB has some incredible truth bombs. And YRB says, I will mention it to you in my message. I don't believe this is the right form for further discussion. Thank you, YRB. I appreciate that. Thank you. But I'll tell you what, sometimes the truth hurts, and sometimes being beautiful and being blessed is painful, and it's because the truth hurts. Sometimes. Good morning, Miriam. Good morning, sunshine. And YRB brings some truth. So if you're going to discount that or argue with that, maybe you need to look a little more internal. Just saying. Because I certainly appreciate YRBs. Well, Scientology up north, we started it out by talking about Proverbs 6, because today is the 6th of July. So I read Proverbs 6, which there's 31 Proverbs in the book of Proverbs. And so a person that I follow had suggested I pop up a proverb for each day. And today's was very appropriate and quite humorous, actually, humorously appropriate. So we were praying a blessing over those that that provide discord for the community and chaos for the community. Muriel is here. No, not today. Today she put Muriel in a cage. It's just Miriam today. Yep. No Muriel. No alter egos. So, and then we prayed blessings over them. I forget YRB says, I'm not one to be upset when advice and knowledge is rejected. I'm just saying it's my obligation to share when I believe it is necessary. True. Good morning, Lupita. Yep, I agree. And new name. Yep, YRB. We're just thanking you. We're thanking you for your knowledge and your wisdom, because it's true. And sometimes me included, I don't listen to it, but bad on me. It's one of those, usually I go, oh man, I should have listened. But, and I do too. When I see not just my friends. Good morning, Lara. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with sunshiny faces, and this is the way to start a new day. That's right. It's not as biblical, but you hear that when toddlers misbehave, you need to ignore them. I have found out there's nothing of substance to hear. Exactly. You're right. That's exactly right. It did piss me off that all of that hard work that Haggis did on that website was discounted because she put her heart and soul into that. And Haggis deserves so much credit for that. Good morning, Amy M. Yep, you bet. Keep our state of Texas in your thoughts and prayers. Yep. Definitely. Exactly. I love what Audit said in her last post, too. When things are done out of love, how much better can you get? You know, it doesn't matter whether it's what I was just saying a few minutes ago. I don't care if there's one person in my life or 1,000 people in my life. The person that needs to be here and hear it will be here. And that's what's important to me. Good morning, beautiful eyes to see. You're right, Miriam. Haggis has done amazing work. She is a business owner, and that time she used on it was away from her own income. So not only did she pay it, she also lost income. That's true. I know. I heard. I was on the phone for a while and got to hear everything about her day yesterday. And it was amazing, except for every time I tried to log in, she was buffering. And all I got was just the spinny little thing. And it kind of bummed me out because I wanted to hear and see what she was doing. But I got the recap later. And she was so tired. We'll wait for her to do a recap because a lot of us missed it. About the website, Peter says opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. Yep. Apparently, Toronto is tropical right now. Yeah, they're about a half an hour, 40 minutes away from me as the crow flies. And it is tropical around here. That is for sure. YRB says, I am the sort that if you're going to criticize a particular production, like a website, then you're obligated to replace it with something better. Amen, sister. That's right. If you're going to bitch about what somebody else did, do it yourself. And Ice to Say says, good morning to all. Hello to all. Yep, exactly. Lara, if you're still on, go to this link in this, watch this. I know there's a shit ton of stuff about narcissism and behavior and stuff like that, but this one's pretty concise and good. Not just what other people do to us, but sometimes what we do to other people. I saw some of my behaviors in that. Kind of scary. But it comes from an old sales background. Absolutely, Miriam. Everyone is appreciated so much. The wonderful thing about yesterday was there were so many people, so many different places, all protesting. Thanks, Lara. Yeah. Yeah, this one was good and concise, and it also had recommendations on how to not do it. Yeah, it did. It definitely addressed my own behavior sometimes, because I've learned that sometimes what I do might be manipulative. And, you know, let's all admit it. Sometimes we do it on purpose. Especially if you have kids, you learn how to do that with kids. And especially being a mom in a wheelchair, I had to learn to be manipulative. That's for sure. I had to learn to play the mind games. YRB and Peter, some have hemorrhoids and eat hot peppers at the same time. Yeah, it's a human characteristic, Bella, isn't it? It's just what we all do. It's survival, right? When we learn how to survive, sometimes it's not pretty, and sometimes it's not fair. But we have to learn from those issues and learn how to do it better. I am not sure what all is going on, but one thing I know is when people are always criticizing others, they need to learn to clean up their own backyard. Amen. That's right. And then Miriam says, sometimes there is a thin line between great social skills and manipulation, and we have all been there. Exactly. But I think a good characteristic of having good social skills and manipulation is if it hurts somebody. So if what you're doing benefits somebody, makes them better, gives them moral sound judgment, builds them up, those are social skills. Manipulation hurts people. And when somebody gets hurt or feels discredited, we will, Lupita, we will keep them. Good morning, Jojo Bananas. So much. I know you've had so much on your plate with all your packing and moving. We will keep the whole state in thoughts and prayers. I have quite a few relatives down there. Exactly. So let's not give them. Oh, I know you are so busy, Jojo. How's mom? I know mom was there to help. I'm hoping everything is going smooth and great. Hey, Jojo, since you've seen it, could you put a link in here for Afila's live from earlier? I would love to go watch it. They were talking about it earlier. If you don't mind, if you happen to be at your computer. Or even if Afila could just email me the link because I cannot find it. Thank you, Jojo. Here is the link for Afila's live from earlier. And Eyes to See says, one thing I know for sure is find out what a person's motivation or attention is. That will tell you everything. Unfortunately, though, you can't always know what the motivation or intention is. Wouldn't it be cool? I keep saying this, but wouldn't it be cool if, well, I don't know if it'd be cool, especially with me, if everybody had thought bubbles running over their head. That way you can see what their true motivation or intention is. And then you have people like Haggis and Lara that you don't need thought bubbles. They just tell you what it is. I appreciate that so much. I laugh about it, but I appreciate it. I love a person that can tell you. Ooh, Tractor. YRB, yep. The people wouldn't really probably even like me if they could see my thought bubbles. But sometimes it certainly would be nice to read other people. Ooh, there is. Ooh, I know. I think I saw it on her post tonight. I'll have to watch that. The video premiere. Jojo says, Mom's good. We are looking up A Man with a Van. That's exactly right, YRB. If every thought was in a thought bubble, you would all understand what restraint I exercise, right? That's actually kind of humorous. That would be a funny show. There you go. When you and Jamie Mustard put a show together, that would be absolutely hilarious. I know Audit is a writer, and I keep trying to get her to do a little skit, a thought bubble skit. That'd be funnier than shit, actually. Very good. Okay, Afila. I will. I have not seen it, Afila. I really hate it when I don't see things that I'm tagged to. I know, even though you're in a different country, we have different laws, the behaviors are still the same. Peter, this is a good question. Does this person's ass get jealous of the shit that comes out of their mouth? That's kind of disgusting, but it is a good question. Yeah, they probably do. And Marion says, I feel the same, YRB. Yep, we all are there. Yep, the cult and the behavior is still the same, Afila. So we can take notes from one another. And I have seen some of your stuff way back when, but I haven't seen anything lately. So I'm going to enjoy your show from this morning. I still think we should do a Zoom one day. I will pay for ProZoom to host it if you want. It would be nice to interact. You mean for people in the community or you and I? For people in the community, I think that would be fun. For the community, that's what I thought. Good morning, Jennifer. The problem with that is that those that aren't invited or didn't get the link all of a sudden get butthurt that they weren't invited. And it's like we didn't exclude anybody on purpose. I don't know. That's the hard thing. I know Tilty and I were going to do a live last weekend, and her stepfather was having more medical issues, so we didn't. And I can't wait to get back on to doing an art stream with Tilty again. We have some good conversations. Kind of weird conversations sometimes, but I love our conversations. And Jennifer says, "Good morning, Joe." That's true. Yeah, I've seen some Zooms where there's lots of people. Maybe we could do it for like a holiday. I know. She's still got to teach me how to do clouds. I did a background of clouds and unfortunately used it. But she is very intelligent. And she has a heart of gold. She really does. And Tilty is the they. I know. I'm sorry. I forget. It's an innocent forget. Yeah, it is. It's supposed to get. Did anything from Tease Live with Jamie Mustard surprise me? No, not at all. I appreciated that conversation. And Jamie Mustard has my heart. He knows he does. I've got the book on order, and his new book, The Hybrid. I've got that one on pre-order also. When I asked the question of did he feel all auditing or what he called machine-based counseling, if he felt it was all abusive, it was to follow through on some of the talk that's been going on lately, is that the beginnings of auditing, the beginning of machine-based counseling, at first seems and appears to be good. We've heard that from quite a few people, but the main intent is to groom. So in theory, it is all abusive. But it can be helpful, just like self-help groups. I'm sure NXIVM was helpful to people in the beginning, just as an example. But once the hook is set, they got you. Yeah, because I've asked the same question from, good morning, Rika. It was. He's got a sense of humor. Definitely has a sense of humor. And then the dingo ate my baby at the end was even funny. He does have a great sense of humor. The one question that there you go, Lara. Great analogy. I'm sure alcohol and drugs are helpful at points as well, but they're not helpful at all once you're addicted. All Scientology is abuse. Thank you, Lara. Yes, it is. Thank you for chiming that in. Rika, I am going to send that card to the address that I have on file for you. Good morning, Dylan. He is doing a great job at looking at his past and putting it out in a way that resonates with more than just people who experience similar. Yep. I know, Amy. I know. I agree. I agree with that. It reminds me of those, you see the videos of the Chinese or the Russian baby factories? That's what it reminds me of. Or the North Korean baby factories. Good morning, Liz Gale. I know it does. It breaks all of our hearts. It does. And I think I heard you the other day when you were saying that it wasn't humorous or anything to laugh at. We all agree. But sometimes coping mechanisms bring out silly jokes or inappropriate humor, dark humor. I agree. It's not appropriate, but it's a coping mechanism. New name, I am so sorry that your parents passed away because of that. There are better coping mechanisms, that's for sure. And Dylan says, the situations in the Florida nursery were very similar to what Jamie describes in Los Angeles. It's all gross and dehumanizing. Absolutely. Yeah, they were, but that's in the past, and it's disgusting. You know, what is that disability, the reactive attachment disorder, RAD? I see that in a lot of ex-Scientology. I agree. And, you know, I've asked him, because we used to have brainiac talks, failure to thrive and reactive detachment. It's RAD is the acronym for it. But you see that in a lot of people that used to be in Scientology as children. Good morning, T. Good evening, T. My beautiful blue-haired, brilliant babe. Yep, we were talking about your interview with Jamie the other day. It was a wonderful interview. Yeah, true. He has overcome so much. But he is more. I love, love, love how he says he doesn't want to be defined by what happened to him in the past. He wants to be known for who he is. And who he is okay, so this was a question. I went to ask it just a few minutes ago, but it was a question I wanted to ask him. How has growing up in Scientology messed with your ability to have loving relationships or appropriate relationships, whether they're affectionate or just friends? And that's a great question. If psychological abuse left scars, what would the children of Scientology look like? He is very cautious. I see that as a common thread. Sometimes not feeling loved or lovable. And it messes with the ability to have relationships. It didn't mess with the ability, it subverted it and replaced it with a pattern on how to be a human only serving a high control religious group, right? You're right. That does happen. I don't think he lets people close to him without a heavy vetting process. It's very true. Good morning, Twyla. How do you learn to soothe and comfort if you've never had it? You self-soothe. Come on. When you asked about the physical after effects yesterday, I was asking about organ system issues from being neglected as a baby and a young child. Yeah. It's all related. Yep. Self-medicated, self-soothe, same thing. Yep. I know, and it's very frustrating. Did you guys see the picture that I painted the other day? I understood. I read between the lines, Lara. He has an incredible. We used to talk quite often, and I didn't really even care to talk about Scientology. I love talking about his ideas and his thoughts and his ideas about art. Oh my gosh, I loved talking with him. He's a brainiac. Good morning, great grandma. That to me, it's like Lara and Dylan. You guys have incredible abilities that it would be just cool to get to know you as a person. Not necessarily, ooh, thanks, Joe. I would love to get to know you as people. We've talked about that. Laura, with your ability to write and put your art on paper is incredible. Dylan, you have some incredible ideas. You have incredible gifts in your ability to do construction and management. You have a great brain on you. So much more than just what you've been through and survived in the past. I know a musical production would be pretty cool. Yeah, Laura. I wish, okay, my blessings. We were talking about blessings earlier. I wish my blessing for you and my prayer for you is for you to see how I see you, how I view you, how others view you, and me being just a part of this community. We don't see this chaotic mess person that's been. I see a beautiful woman with wonderful talent, wonderful ideas. That I wish you could see you the way I see you. The publication of the written form of lyrics by Lara, illustrated by Lara. Yeah, you are an incredible human. And I wish Rika could see Rika the way I see Rika. I wish eyes to see could see how I see eyes to see. Really, I don't see you as this chaotic mess. So there goes those thought bubbles again. We can see the thought bubbles in our head. We can hear the thought bubbles in our head. If other people could see the thought bubbles in my head, we'd be in way trouble. YRB already concluded that. No, that's wrong. That is so wrong. Okay, I'm not telling you wrong, but Dylan, you are special in your own right. It breaks my heart that you think that way. Lara, that's very normal. You're normal, Lara. That is so normal. We all kind of are like that. And Dylan, I'm not giving up on you. You're like my little brother. Oops, sorry. Dog's puking in the corner here. I am going to group you with them because you're a fellow human being. I'm just reading chat, you guys, and just kind of being quiet in my own. I do. I'm sorry, true. I am sorry that you've been hurt, Dylan. It does, Laura. I think disappointment. Yeah, right. Well, Dylan, I'm not giving up on you. I'm not going to. And I'm going to throw every bit of love that I can your way. And I'm sorry that if anything that I've ever done has caused you pain or distrust. And I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? Look, I think a bigger, making people feel or do bad things. Okay, we started this off with the Proverbs. And you guys know that I'm the Jesus wackadoodle. Yes, I am. But I think the enemy and Satan's biggest tool and weapon against us is disappointment. Is when you have hopes, when you have thoughts of grandeur, thoughts of how beautiful things could be, and then you get disappointed. And I literally, our ears must have been burning last night, Laura, because I was speaking with a very dear friend last night. And I said, my biggest wish, my biggest blessing, my biggest hope for Lara FM is that she finds somebody that truly loves her and that holds great intentions for her. I know that's a bad word in Scientology, but it's not a bad word. To feel that somebody is intended for you, what a blessing that is. And that's my hope and my prayer for you. And you know what? The same thing for you, Dylan. Someone to cherish you, someone to love you. And you're not alone in that. That's very common. That's very normal. We all deserve unconditional love. You're right. Well, maybe you might get your Maserati, but even I desire that. Even I do. I talk about my re-husband and all of that, but I would love to have a partner in crime, a person that truly feels that I'm their intended, that does things for me and with me just because it might make me feel good. But that's my hope and my prayer for you guys, for each of us. But we've all done things wrong. Yeah. None of us are perfect. Good morning, Old Norse 50. No, not all. Well, it depends on how you look at religion. If just the definition of religion, then no, not all religion is bad. Religious behavior, because it's legalistic, I agree is bad. Yeah, well, I was talking earlier about the blessings that I pray over those for this week is grace and mercy. And do you know what the difference between grace and mercy? Because God says one of his prayers is that grace and mercy will follow you all the days of your life. Grace is when you're provided, when you receive what you deserve, or what you, maybe you don't deserve it, but you still receive it. And mercy is when you don't receive what you deserve. Kind of like a speeding ticket. Yeah, I'm going to keep praying for that, Laura. Yep, mercy is when you're not punished for wrongdoings. So we need to each give each other grace and mercy. Yeah, right? No. As I said, it depends on how you defined religion. Old Norse says religion hold back progress. I'll give you all the grace you can, that I can. Life is a bloody roller coaster. Amen to that, sister. But every breath you take is a chance to change. It's a chance to give forgiveness. It's a chance to change your mind. It's a chance. Every breath you take is a chance. It's an opportunity. So, Lara, when you're singing your songs, the songs that we all love to listen to, every breath you take in your songs and in your singing is a chance. It's an opportunity. Good morning, Margaret P. Yep, forgiving yourself. Every breath you take is a song by Police. Yes, it is. We got to laugh. No one's taken away my joy. Absolutely not. But it's true, though. It's an opportunity to see things different. It's an opportunity to view how others are feeling. It's an opportunity to vent. Thank you, Great Grandma, for reminding everybody. It's an opportunity to change the past. It's an opportunity to see how you were hurt and how you want to do things different. Every revelation of a new religion has happened in a progression, each actually moving forward the society progressively consider the condition of the human society at each revelation. Somewhat true on that. I somewhat agree. The things we do when triggered deserve grace and mercy. I agree with that. But to be real honest, we're all responsible and accountable for what we do and the actions we take. And it's how others perceive those actions and accountabilities, whether they give us grace or mercy. But the person that we need to also give grace and mercy to is ourselves. Trauma has on the brain physically affects cognitive. Yes, it does. Cognitive function. It does. That's why I really, when Jamie was talking about the DSR shots and those that have had the DSR shots, stuff that runs through your physical body affects how you feel. When you live in that fight and flight stage for so long, that becomes normal in your body. And your body needs to find the homeostasis. Yeah, we did definitely need to be kinder to each other, to have more grace and mercy. But again, have grace and mercy for yourself. To say, hey, that's, one of the biggest things I respect, Dylan, if you're still here, about you, is that you are a wonderful father. You are a wonderful dad. It's just incredible. I love that about you. And I respect that about you. Enrica says they are now doing research on the DSR shots for EDS, since most of us have CPTSD from existing in our bodies. Rika, what is EDS? Emotional disturbance? I know CPTSD. Right? And he always has supportive friend. He always has words of kindness. He broke the cycle of abuse. Respect for Dylan. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Ehlers-Danlos syndromes. Thank you. It's another reason the E-meter is abuse in itself. It messes with the body brain's ability to help ourselves out, sort out what's right or wrong. You're right. And I know Power Lies to Paralyze has done incredible research and has incredible information about the problems of the E-meter and what it does to the brain. Yep, definitely. The comorbidity with autism and EDS is very, very high. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm going to find out what that is. All right, great grandma. We'll talk to you later. Yeah, that's a good question. Wonder if the DSR would help with Tourette's. My 12-year-old self is really wanting to yell fuck, but I know that's Tourette's is a real serious issue. My gray hair is starting to come through, you guys. I need to go in for a haircut and yeah, I would love to see the studies on that. On what it helps with and what it doesn't help with. I still have questions about it, but my insurance won't cover it. So I don't want to do something. It hasn't helped with my ADHD. Definitely more bearable without the constant fight or flight, though. Right, exactly. Do you guys remember that? Let me see if I can find it. Remember I did that call case. I think I put way too many pictures on here. Religious Bites. Good morning, Religious Bites. Dylan, you are my sober partner for the Gray Rock. We're doing this together. You definitely need a sober partner. I did a crap. Let me see if I can find it. You know what? It would be easier for me to go to Scientology crimes and go to videos. And go to where the heck did I put it? I'm gonna play this video. It's really not that very long. YouTube Studio. I'm gonna put this on. Sorry, I'm looking for it, you guys. Crap, I can't find it. Is it in shorts? It is not in shorts. Is it in live? It is not in live. Whatever. It's a video anyways I put out about sorry. Good morning, Phoenix Book Girl. It's a graph showing, and I didn't do, let me try and find it another way. Yeah, I'll find it. I know darn well that it's here somewhere. It's hiding in my computer somewhere. Where, anyways, where the graph basically shows where the standard society up here, where we live between acceptance, but a lot of children from Scientology, a lot of people in abuse situations, not just Scientology, live down in that fight or flight level, and how it becomes normal. And so they don't think the quote unquote normal way of living is normal. And they think they assign right and wrong to those. Come on, you guys, I gotta find this. We gotta do this. I'm going to stop screen, put me on big face for a minute, because I need to find this. I really want to. I don't know where the hell I'm getting all these shorts. Videos. Everything says public on here. Yeah, maybe it's in here. Oh, you know what, you guys? I might have put it in my Fat Grammy account. Let me see if I can find it in here. I hear you, bud. Here it is. Okay, here, I'm going to put this on so we can watch it. Present, share screen.
Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Hey, we discussed the other day a little bit yesterday morning about a frustration that I was having, and I threw this chart out here. I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Frustration with folks that have been in Scientology, folks that are still in Scientology, maybe the way some people that have processed trauma in their life, and just trying to build trust and trying to build a relationship. My theory are respect, relationship, and reliability equals results. And sometimes I feel that I'm 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and it's back and forth, back and forth. And so I bobbled this around in my head, and I came up with some pictures and a chart, because to me, sometimes that's easier to be able to discuss my feelings and discuss my fears and my frustrations, and maybe how we can come up to a solution. And maybe this is a frustration that you've had also, especially dealing with the anti-Scientology movement, the group, non-group, the crowdsource, and trying to further along and progress rather than constantly being brought back forth. So let me paint this picture a little bit. I threw up this chart, and this is a natural way of thinking. This is the natural evolution of your brain in relationships. You have in the way you think in your own mind. It goes all the way from gullible to trust to verify. And when you're gullible, we all know what gullible is. You're gullible. Your mind accepts what other people say or do, and you just believe it is truth.
Good morning,
Trust
Sunrise.
is where you completely trust somebody. And then on the other side of the spectrum is where you verify. And you're always looking at, well, this may or may not be right. But you always have to verify, because nothing ever seems to be the truth. Well, in reality, as I said, that's a natural flow. Sometimes I go from gullible to trust to verify in a single conversation. That's normal. That's completely natural. There's nothing wrong with that. And it really depends on the reaction, the relationship, and the respect that you have for whomever you're talking to or about, or the group that you're talking with or about. And so this is a natural evolution of your brain and your thoughts and your body, mind, and spirit. Let's talk about your body. So this is the evolution of your body in homeostasis.
It's not
where
that
your
long,
body's
you
just
guys.
going along, chugging along, doing what it's supposed to do. No ups, no downs. This is the normal evolution of homeostasis. It's where your body is just kind of normal. No stress, no distress, just natural, right? It's just a natural thing. Mind, that's where your mind goes. Your mind isn't stressed. It isn't anxious. There's no anxiety. There's no lethargy. It's just normal. It's natural. This is the way in spirit we were designed. We were designed for this. And, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. So body and mind, I am not a PhD. I am not at that level. Spiritually, I'm probably equivalent to a PhD in spirituality. I'll admit that. So that I have credence about, but the other two, I'm just telling you what I've learned through experience as an old wise fat granny. This is how the body, mind, and spirit works in homeostasis in a natural level. Now you're saying, well, not everybody does all of that. Let's go to the next slide. In the next slide, we see that most of the population are in those shaded areas. Not quite gullible, not quite trusting, not quite jaded. We're in the trust but verify levels, to where give me enough information for me to figure it out, and I'm going to trust, but then I'm going to verify, and we're going to work on this. And so you use your logical thinking in order to survive in life, and that is very natural. Now you see they have the little blue lines there on the bottom. Those are when your body, mind, and spirit may go past gullible or past verify. Think of it this way: when you're looking at somebody that's in love, they've got the starstruck, Everything's beautiful, everything roses, you have rose-colored glasses on, nobody can do anything wrong. You're at a point past gullible. And that's hormonal. It truly is, but it's usually temporary. That's temporary, and it's normal that you dip down past the gullible stage, but then life shakes you up and you come back to the gullible to verify section. That's natural. And on the other side of it, you may have had a trauma. You may have had something awful happen to you. You may have had a breakup of the love of your life, to where you go past verify and nobody can do anything right, anything wrong. You're just in extreme distrust. But that's temporary. And that's where your fight or flight kicks in. Those temporary times, your fight or flight kicks in, but then you should go back to homeostasis, back up to gullible to verify. You should go back up to natural. Problem being, and I know Jamie Mustard was talking about this with those DSR shots, that those DSR shots helps the body and the mind bring you back up to homeostasis. It brings you back up to normal in the body and mind. In the spiritual, though, we need to look at that. And I'm going to show you here in just a second where those shots don't necessarily help the spiritual. They do help the body and the mind, and that's a plus. And as long as your body and mind is up there, back to natural and back to homeostasis, then you can bring your spiritual back to it also. Let me show you why. Let's go to the next stage. So this is a person, if you can see down below here, Scientology. Scientology is a dichotomy. Ubiquitous. It's a dichotomy. It's two in one stream. So you have extreme acceptance and extreme distrust. And people that are in Scientology, that have been in Scientology, that were trained in Scientology, all go through this. They have extreme circular logic. They're trained in circular logic. They're trained to be able to discuss things that there is a never-ending result to it. It's a dichotomy. They're trained to believe everything about Scientology. Nothing is wrong from Scientology. You are above everyone else in the world. Your superiors, you're supposed to believe everything they say. All their training, all their guidance, everything. You're trained to believe Scientology is the answer to everything. Scientology works. And on the other side, you're trained to believe nothing. No one, no place, nothing is right. If something goes wrong, it's your fault. You're trained not even to believe yourself or your own instincts. You're not trained to believe your fellow coworkers or your friends. You're supposed to write knowledge reports. You're not supposed to believe anything. That is the basis of Scientology. Believe everything and believe nothing. There's such a huge dichotomy that you're stuck. You're trained at that unnatural level. You're trained to be stuck on extreme acceptance and extreme distrust. And when you're stuck there, that's where your body, mind, and spirit need some help to get back up to natural. You're also taught in Scientology that all of this up here, let me use my pointer, all of this up here, the gullible to verify, which is completely natural, you are trained as a Scientologist that that is unnatural. And this is natural. Unnatural and natural, completely opposite, 180 degrees of what is in fact true. What is true, that this is natural and this is unnatural. The other thing that's trained in Scientology is they change the name of natural and unnatural, normal, abnormal, to right and wrong. So they give this a consequence. This, which is, they say, unnatural, having feelings for yourself, being able to adjust your feelings, being able to pivot, all of that is unnatural and it's wrong. So it gives a consequence, because if you're not right, you're wrong. And so they flip the script of everything that you're supposed to be believing in. So how do we get, here's my frustration. How do we get, that's why sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words, because sometimes I can't get the words out right, but I know what I'm feeling and I know what I'm saying. And how do I, as a person that this upper level, the gullible to verify, is completely natural to me. And as I said, sometimes gullible to verify comes in one conversation with one person. That's natural, that's normal, that's acceptable. But being down here and stuck on high alert, being stuck at these levels is just not natural. This is not wrong. How do I get those that are stuck down here to continue more up here? To be up here, to trust, to be gullible, to verify when you need to, and be like.
So what do you guys think? Do you want me to open that up? I have that on a listed or unlisted But if you guys feel that might be helpful, I'll put it on public and you guys can steal it, use it. I kind of seemed a little more appropriate today than it was a year ago when I wrote it, when I did it, when I made this video. It's certainly able to think about it and put a picture to what's happening sometimes. Thanks, YRB. It is. It's very frustrating because I want people to see, especially Laura, we're going to use you as an example, that what you're feeling isn't, you can't put labels of right and wrong on that. Yeah, I think I am going to just open that up to those that really want to have, and I'll send you the graph. There's been a couple people that I've sent the graph to. It is. Is it the auditing sessions that cause that thinking to flip like that? Yes, but it's also the lifestyle and the belief system. Yep, it is. It's the repetition, it's the e-meter, it's the auditing, it's the ethics handling, it's the courses, all of it. Again, as I said, I'll open this video up for public. So if you guys want to use it, or if you want just the PowerPoint presentation itself, I'll email it to you if you would like. That way you could use it on your own. With that, you guys, it's 10:22 my time. I think I'm going to enjoy some brekkie breakfast this morning, and would like some feedback on this if you guys would like. And much love to you all. Treating, calming down the nervous system does wonders. It does, because it lets the rest of your body, mind, and spirit figure it out. It gives it a break. It relaxes it. Thanks, YRB. Yeah, it's pretty clear. I know a couple of people that had asked me for it at one time, used it with their mental health professionals. But I am going to stop screen, big face. I'm going to go to the video here. And how do I turn it to public? I'll put it on public. Done. Save. There you go. Ooh, darn fly. It is on public now, so you guys can go to it. It's in videos. Thank you, Afila. You attended your first sound bath last week. You recommend it. What's a sound bath, Phoenix Book Girl? I don't know what a sound bath is. I'll wait for you to answer before I take off. I don't know if it's a typo or if I just don't know what sound bath is. Mindy did a live with the soundboard place. It's with healing bowls. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay, I know what a sound bath is. Yes, I know what that is. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Very nice. Okay, very cool. Music always puts, well, it could do good or bad, but music is mostly good. So, very nice. Okay, with that, much love to everybody, and I will see you on streams later today. Blessings today, that you have grace and mercy abound, that you receive everything you deserve, and if you deserve something negative, that you receive mercy and not receive it. Much love to you all. I'll talk to you later.